नमस्ते, IYSOCC में आपका स्वागत है।
IYSOCC स्वागतम सुस्वागतम।
Diam Guram Yupi Shaka IYSOCC.
IYSOCC मध्ये आपला स्वागत आहे.
Hi, welcome to IYSOCC.
Advantage of this country is the power of the youth. We have, according to various estimates, between 650 and 700 million Indians who are below the age of 30. If we can mobilize this force in a constructive manner, it is an enormous force.
To feel terribly depressed that the next generation of environmentally concerned Indians did not take this. And you saw this. You've been the Prozac for me by organizing a youth mobilization on climate change.
It's really your issue. In a sense, when we speak of asking governments to address the issue of climate change, we are really speaking on your behalf, because it is your work that we are trying to protect and save.
We want to produce two main outcomes. The first is an Indian Youth Charter on Climate Change.
Where are the emissions coming from in India? Mainly the power sector, more than 50% from the power sector. And this is due in large part to the fact that India has a large number of highly inefficient coal power plants. I met with the head of the India Renewable Energy Development Agency, and he was telling me that even more than renewable energy, like the first thing that India could do was improve the efficiency of its existing coal power plants.
Now, we must remember that the definition of an electrified village is only 10% of the households in a village have to have access to a grid. Only 10%. Or the entire village would be electrified. This means that there are potentially still several hundred million people that will not have access to the grid, and we will consider our entire country electrified. So decentralized energy systems have a huge role to play in meeting the energy needs of rural areas.
No, my vision is that the Green Party should actually work. There is no reason why we should not have a political party that actually talks about these issues.
And that energy efficiency is one of the most foolproof and perhaps the most easily accessible solutions to climate change.
If we were, intelligent consumers, if we demanded that we will not use something, a plastic that is not recyclable, or if we demand that it has to be recycled, things would be.
So my personal opinion is that nuclear energy is not a solution to climate change at all, or a solution to our energy mix.
I think the idea of 350 is if that's our long-term goal of stabilization, it means we peak, and let's hope we peak, or let's make it so that we're peaking right now. And then if over time, as the amount of carbon dioxide we're letting out slowly reduces compared to the amount of carbon dioxide that our sinks and other sources of sequestration would be taking in, then we bring ourselves back to 350 as the permanent stable target.
The tricky part is the fact that if we were to halt all CO2 emissions today, we'd still be at 387. It's the actual quantity of CO2 in the atmosphere.
We discussed, with what little time we had, how to achieve those targets through technological and policy suggestions. Some targets were no new coal by 2050, I believe, and banning incandescent bulbs over the next 4 years, and then setting the path using CFLs to move towards LEDs. And how we would do that would be through incentivizing of manufacturing base within India.
So it was clear that if 350 is our target, which people did support in terms of the only safe target for us to maintain climate stability, people said that would mean not only would industrialized nations need to bring themselves to zero, so would India. And so looking at that, then bringing it to energy efficiency, we said that the only way for us to reach carbon neutrality as a country of India, we would need to not only look at energy efficiency, but also look at renewable energy.
Rather technical and specific target was to have solar street lighting throughout India.
We wanted industry in 2050 or even sooner to have full triple bottom line accounting, so that people would be accounting for their environmental impact and for their carbon emissions, for their waste, and for their water consumption at the same time as they were filing their taxes. They'd be filing their environmental returns.
I am India.
నేను భారతదేశాన్ని
आम्ही इंडिया
ഞാൻ ഇന്ത്യനാണ് ನಾನು ಭಾರತೀಯ ngade brio na India.
Basically, the intention is to bring climate change, global warming into the consciousness of the Indian audience.
I am India. Not Indian.
We are India!